Welcome to enVisioning Success, the weekly podcast that's your prescription for business clarity. In today's episode, we identify 5 fruitful benefits organizations can garner through partnerships with marketing agencies. Laura Di Benedetto, joined by co-host Julia Becker-Collins, discuss the particular advantages a marketing agency can provide for scalability, tools and technology, ROI, and a variety of advertising materials and strategy. Tune in for invaluable insights on envisioning success.
Welcome back to enVisioning Success. I'm Laura Di Benedetto, and I'm joined by Julia Becker-Collins. We run Vision, a full-service marketing agency, and we are also the proud sponsor of this show. The show is brought to you to help you to figure out what you're trying to be when you grow up. How do you want to do your marketing? How do you want to make money? How do you want to make people happy and make it so easy to sell? So we work with companies in the $5 to $50 million range, sometimes a little bigger, sometimes a little smaller, but that's pretty much our sweet spot. And we go through a lot of interesting stuff. After 25 years, whoo, doggy, we've got some stories from the trenches. So that's what we always try to bring to you. And we have fun recording this for you on a Thursday afternoon. We're both sober. So I don't know how we're as punchy as we are, but it is what it is.
It's just pure exhaustion at this point.
Yeah, fair. But I like the show and I like you. So this works out really good. So today we're going to be talking about a continuation of last episode. We were talking about choosing between hiring internally or engaging an agency. We're going to kind of do a more deep dive today in the benefits of we're there. Words are hard. The benefits of partnering with a marketing agency.
Okay, if you've been listening to us for the past 38 episodes, you know that we get punchy. So sorry, not sorry.
Whatever. Honestly, I was just about to say this is the part that makes it pun. No, this is the part that makes it fun.
So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see us lose our minds, and we highly recommend that you do so.
Honestly, if you're taking yourself so seriously that you're like, I don't like this show, they laugh and have fun, please stop listening to us and go away. Like, find a hug. You need one. Life's too short to be bored, honestly. No way, man. Mm-hmm. You get to be talented and have fun. That's how I feel. So today we're going to be really just doing a deeper dive into the subject and really helping you to decide. Let's say you're leaning towards, you know what, a marketing agency is probably the right choice. We're going to give you 5 more powerful points to help you consider and really just know what you'd be getting yourself into. Julia, why don't you start us off with the first one?
I'll kick us off with a bang, Laura.
Do it from the top.
Take it from the top. So we talked about this last episode, but it's an important point, so we're going to bring it up again. One of the reasons or one of the benefits to partnering with a marketing agency rather than hiring internally is that you get access to a diverse set of experience and expertise. Agencies bring a team, if an agency is really an agency, and that's a conversation for a different day. But they bring a whole team of people that have varied skills and experiences.
Julia's throwing shade at the 23-year-old entrepreneur that has like an intern in Malaysia. And she's like, I'm an agency. No, you're not.
Agency. This is the episode to watch on YouTube, if there's an episode, because Julia gets a little salty. If you have unpaid interns as your entire team, that's not an agency. But moving on. So a real agency brings a team with varied skills and experiences, offering a breadth of ideas and solutions that 1 or even 2 internal hires might not match. Last time we talked about generalists versus specialists, and that bears repeating. Oftentimes when you hire internally, you're hiring a generalist, and that could be the appropriate solution for you. And if you haven't listened to the last episode where we really break down the pros and cons of hiring internally versus hiring an agency, I highly recommend you go back and listen to that. But when you hire an agency, one of the advantages is that you're getting 10, 12, 15 people that have not only years and years and years of marketing experience and expertise. You're getting subject matter experts. So at Vision, we like to talk about, and really I talk about this a lot when I talk about the company, I don't hire marketing generalists. That's not what I'm looking for, because the person who codes your website has a very different way of thinking about things than the person who's taking photos. Those are two very different parts of your brain. Last episode, we talked about left brain versus right brain and what people are good at. And it's really important to understand that a generalist could be good at a bunch of things, but they're not going to be good at everything. And they're good at, air quotes, is only going to go so far.
Yeah, it's not great.
Right. They're a generalist versus hiring an agency that has subject matter experts like Vision, where we have an SEO and data person. We have photographer, video, graphic design. We have a long form writer, technical writer. We have a separate web developer and his team, and deals with all of the web development and that whole world.
Yep.
It's very important to understand the difference between hiring a generalist versus specialist. And I think this is one of those things that people don't often think about. Last episode, we talked about specialized skills, and that a lot of people don't realize the pieces that go into really effective and efficient marketing are specialized. Mm-hmm. And you might not realize that that's what you need.
Yep. Well, I can't believe you didn't say the most obvious thing in the world, so I'll do it. I volunteer as tribute. Do you really want a jack of all trades and master of none? Or do you want a master of trade?
Well, usually I do the analogies, so I'm excited that this time you did the analogy.
I had my moment in the sun.
I'm here for it. I love it. But it's true. It's, you can't be an expert at everything.
Nope.
So you need to figure out what you're very good at or what the person is very good at. And, do you need that, or do you just need kind of like dabbling in a bunch of different areas, which is more of a generalist?
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing to think about is, I think this might be an inexperienced business owner assumption that, you don't necessarily need people to be experts at it. That's more of a new business owner position, or, it's going to be fine if they're, if I just give them like a bunch of different tasks. No, probably not. You really don't want to understate or misunderstand how complex these different things are in order to achieve success. Julia, you said this in a couple different episodes. I know at one, at least a couple weeks ago, you said that you have to know what success looks like. And if you know, that's a miracle. Without an agency, it is difficult to get that kind of clarity. When you do know what success looks like, then you're able to discern whether or not you have people on your team that can actually provide the success you're looking for. Because again, why are we here? Marketing exists to help you grow your company. It's dollars, period, full stop. Like, let's not overcomplicate it. Like, people don't hire us, oh boy, I need help with my Facebook. It might be why people start the conversation, but it's not the real reason. I just did a LinkedIn post about this today. Like, people hire you because they're trying to solve a problem, right? They hire us because they're trying to solve a problem. You think about hiring internally because you want to solve a problem. What's the real problem? You want to make more money. So do you know what success looks like?
Right.
And do you know if the people that you're looking at can actually help you to get it? That's not your problem when you work with an agency, because they know what success looks like. They build it with you. It's a co-creation process. And then there are standards that people are held to. And that's where the diversity of actual expertise comes in handy.
Yep.
The other thing that people make as a big erroneous mistake, bad, is assuming that every single person in the agency is going to be an expert at every single thing. It is wildly inaccurate. And also, you don't want that. That's, again, the whole, jack of all trades. Like Julia said very clearly, she's not great with design. She's not good at a handful of things, and she doesn't need to be. I'm also not good at a handful of different things. I am our lead strategist, and there is no greater skill that I possess in this world than solving problems, finding pathways to money, simplifying things, and clarifying things. That's what God built me for. So that's what I do. but I know about the other functions. I've dabbled in them. Like I said, I'm lowercase g good at them, and that's fine. You don't want every single person on the team being good at every single thing and then getting worried if they're not. That's what expertise looks like. It's like, I'm really good at that. Cool.
Right. It's, this is one of those things I always say to people about staying in your lane. Like, I'm good at what I'm good at, and I'm not good at what I'm not good at, and that's okay. And that's why you hire people or outsource or whatever. But like, for example, we have an Italian restaurant that we work with, and I can't cook to save my life at all. I burn water. So when I hang out with the owner of that restaurant, that's the joke, is that she cooks for me and I market for her because she doesn't know how to do the marketing.
Perfect.
Being humble enough to know that you're not good at everything.
Yeah, there's not a damn thing wrong with it either.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you give us the next point?
Okay. So point number 2, or rather our second actionable tip for the episode, is looking at advanced tools and technologies. We talked about this a little bit last episode. Agencies typically invest in the latest marketing tools and technologies, whether it's a web application or a new camera or editing software or knowing what's happening behind the scenes with LinkedIn and Facebook. We do that to provide our clients with cutting edge solutions without the direct cost. So you don't have to pay your marketing person to go to a workshop to learn more about certain things. We're already staying on top of it. We have the best tools and technologies. We invest in professional development for our staff. We consistently have internal conversations about the rumor mill of what could be happening with Facebook today. And we also understand how to deal with the back end technology difficulties of a lot of platforms, which is another thing people don't think about. And this, I will die on this hill, Laura. We can all have this conversation now. Just because you or your kid or your nephew or whoever has a TikTok, an Instagram, a Facebook account, whatever, does not mean A, that they know how to run it for a business. B, does not mean they know how to manage the back end of it for a business, because managing something through Business Manager is vastly different than posting on a personal page. And C, doesn't mean they know how to deal with the advertising. And I don't just mean what to put out there. I mean the rules and regulations around it. There are very strict rules and regulations about what you can and can't say, what you can and can't promise, etc. And hiring an agency and a marketing professional and a subject matter expert is how you know that that's all being taken care of. Our clients don't have to deal with the nightmare of the back end of Facebook because we deal with it for them.
And we also provide the therapy and emotional support when our team wants to punch everyone at Meta in the throat.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you how often that happens.
Pretty often.
It is a great tool. It has shaped civilization. Really neat. Big fan. Also,
yeah, this was like the conversation I had in a meeting recently with a client about Google. And I was like, listen, don't shoot the messenger. Google is our evil overlord. And we just all need to accept it. I am not the person that can change that. I am just the person that can tell you like it is.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, trust me, we don't control those. It makes me think of one of those funny memes where like this grandma had sent her grandson a picture of something. Why do you keep changing the picture on the Google? I don't know, man. It's not me.
Well, this is like a conversation I had with a client recently. They were struggling with something on the back end of their Facebook page. Their Facebook page is probably 15 years old. It's a very old, grandfathered in Facebook page.
It was running on old tech, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
And a little bit because we're so good at managing all of this, we a little bit created our own problem of him thinking we could solve absolutely everything. And some things are outside of our control because Meta doesn't let us do certain things. And he was confused as to why we couldn't solve a certain problem for him. And we had to explain that, you have a grandfathered in Facebook page, which means there are features on there that aren't offered anymore, which means Facebook doesn't want to play well with those features. but there is only so much that we can do. And if we can't do it, nobody can.
Fair. Oh, good times. You know, the thing that I've had this conversation a lot, the user experience of either consuming content or even casually creating content, like sharing a picture of your puppy with your family and all your followers or connections or whatever, vastly different from existing in the quote unquote back end and trying to exist as a business that is trying to convert casual passersby into loyal, rabid fans. That takes more than just tech knowledge. Good Lord, it takes a lot of that whole expertise that we're talking about and knowing the best practices. You can't just throw an ad up there and hope it works. That's called spaghetti marketing, because why? You throw it up against the wall and you hope it sticks. Does it work? No. Is it expensive? You bet. Speaking of which,
yes.
Point number 3, focus on ROI. You want to tell them what that is?
Mm-hmm. So ROI is return on investment. We'll go back to what I said last episode about not making assumptions. So I always want to explain terminology. So when we focus on the ROI, the agency is prioritizing measurable results. Julia loves measurable results. It's the way to my heart. And we're aligning the strategies with your business goals, with your business objectives, with the campaigns we have outlined with you to provide the highest value and effectiveness, rather than, as Laura said, doing spaghetti marketing. And if you have ever heard me give a talk, I talk about spaghetti marketing and how much I hate it all the time.
It's expensive.
It's incredibly expensive. And I also have a firm belief that that's why people don't like marketing or marketers, because they don't understand where the money is going.
Right. They think we're snake oil salesmen.
Correct. And they don't understand how do thing over here turns into money over there, because nobody's showing them the breadcrumbs and the objective facts. But when you focus on the ROI and prioritizing those measurable results and looking at the data, you're coming to it from a place of objective fact, not subjective feelings.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm really emotionally connected to this blue color versus this blue color is proven to psychologically interest your ideal client. When you focus on that, you're able to see the ROI on the dollars and cents that you're spending versus feeling like you have no idea where the money went.
Yep. Our clients on the Cape, I mean, they've been experiencing the journey of ROI, and they're really good to talk about. You know, Google AdWords, for example, it's you advertising on Google. It's an awesome program in the right hands. It's an awful cash burn if it's in the wrong hands. And we're very proud of the fact that over the last, how long have they been a client? Like 9 years?
9 or 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, like we've helped them become an $8 million company. And that's a really notable thing. They have hundreds of employees and they do really great stuff. And guess what? A lot of their leads have come through Google AdWords. They used to do canvassing and going through neighborhoods and stuff like that. That stuff works, but it's a big time suck. And, you know, especially post-COVID, people are a little weird about people just showing up to their house. So, you know, in our focus on ROI, and any good agency would do this, you're focusing on not just top of the funnel data of what we see, but bottom of the funnel data and what the client sees. Okay, how are the quality of the leads? Are you getting enough leads? The volume of the leads? Are they converting? What are the sticking points? What do we need to be speaking about in the funnel so people will convert better? And, you know, let's assess the return on investment here to make sure that it's actually going to drive the results for you. And that's how you grow from literally nothing to an $8 million company, is you pay attention to numbers. I don't have big feelings about numbers. I have a little bit more feelings in general than Miss Julia over here, but I don't have feelings about numbers because they tell a story, and it's your job to be able to know what that is, or your agency's job to know what that story is, and then pivot accordingly. Pivot.
And just to go back to when I was salty earlier in the episode.
I wasn't salty.
This is one of the distinguishing factors between a real agency and a quote unquote agency. If you're the person you're talking to about taking over your marketing doesn't understand how to track conversions and see ROI and understand how to follow the breadcrumbs and can really walk you through the logic, that's not an agency. That's somebody with a job.
Amen to that, sister. I'm gonna join you in dying on that particular hill. No, I think it really, what you're saying really checks out. I think it matters quite a bit. And I think it is a massive distinction between, the fake agencies, real agencies. And, we talk about, and we use the word we quite a bit. And yes, many times we are talking about us as vision, but we're also talking about us as marketers in general that are high integrity and actually worth the investment. The amount of them is unfortunately quite small. But when you find a good marketer who really fits your head, heart, and wallet, you should work with them, whether it's us or someone else. We're okay with that. We're here to just help you make an awesome choice.
Absolutely.
So we talked about this one, point 4, in the last episode. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'll just briefly go through this with you. Scalable solutions. I just want to emphasize how important this is because you have no idea, how difficult it is to get good talent on board in the time that you need, or how difficult it is to say to someone, I can't afford you because things have not performed the way I necessarily want them to. So you want to be able to have a good back and forth. You want to scale up, scale down. And the reason why an agency is so awesome is they take on all the risk for you. They take on all the staffing nightmares and the HR and the compliance and the blah blahs. You want to actually take a lot of those headaches and say bye, and you don't have to think about it.
You want to give those headaches to me.
Yes. So we can get company sponsored ibuprofen for you. I mean, listen, I don't enjoy HR, but the hell that I get is accounting, and I don't enjoy that at all. I just love doing strategy, and I love talking to the clients because apparently, as an introvert, I'm a friggin' social butterfly. You figure that one out.
I feel that. Before the pandemic, I would have waved the 100% extrovert flag, but now I feel like I'm an ambivert because I both really like being around people, but also deeply hate it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I want to be around people, and sometimes I absolutely don't want to be around a single human being, even my husband.
Well, most married people can attest to that one.
Mm-hmm. I really just want to lay down with my cat and do nothing.
Oh, they're great. They don't interrupt and they purr and they're cute and they got little toe beans. What's not to love?
Oh, the toe beans.
I'm obsessed. All right, Julia, quickly, can you talk to us about this very last one? I feel like this one's an interesting one that I bet nobody's going to see coming.
Yes, agreed. So risk and compliance management. Speaking of HR and regulatory complications, this is my world. Agencies understand the regulatory environment and can manage marketing risks effectively, ensuring compliance and reducing your legal concerns. So, what's an example of that? There are very different regulations when you market or sell to people in the state of California versus state of Oregon. If you don't understand that, then you could find yourself in a very serious legal problem. Just like if you are doing email marketing to people in Europe, the regulations are not only incredibly strict, but they are very different than marketing to people in the United States. And if you do not follow those regulations, you will find yourself with a heap of problems. And I'm not talking about you're going to get sued. No, I'm talking about your website getting blacklisted and you can't do any marketing. So knowing these kinds of regulations and the intricacies of them based on the geography or the demographics of who you are trying to reach is essential to having a very good and effective marketing plan.
Amen. Love that. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, dear listener. We love you and we're so glad that you're here. The next episode is going to be the opposite take, when hiring internally makes sense. Just when you thought we couldn't be objective, here comes the opposing point of view. So make sure that you tune into that. If you're listening and keeping along with our weekly cadence, we'll see you next week. If you're just binging like I love to do, thank you, Netflix. I guess we'll see you in a minute, but this is going to be a really great opportunity for you to really dive into the alternative point of view, consider things, and make sure that you have a good objective basis of facts to work with and make the best decision for you. My name is Laura. I'm joined by Julia. We are Vision. We are marketing rock stars, and we're here to help make you rich and have fun doing it. We will see you next week.